Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, start your welcome to the RedressRight channel. Everyone, anyone, and all ones, never zeros. Welcome everybody. Got a continuation of a video. The video going up now, ahead of this one, was before I went to the physical therapist today. That hammock thing, yeah, I still got pain in the arm and the shoulder. And so I have to go to physical therapy. That's right, I said physical therapy. And so the physical therapy is actually working. There is improvement. It's just last night turned on my shoulder 3 times. And let me tell you, the amount of pain, I was just too tired to get up. All right, but that's enough about that and shut up with your advices. I'm not asking you for it. Some of y'all be coming to my channel and y'all don't understand. Keep your personal to yourself and your personal advice to yourself. See, there you go, offering your advice again. Keep your advice to yourself because it ain't worth nothing. That's what we're here to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Value and worth. Hey, Isleys, y'all hold on for a second. We're here to talk about money and worth. We ended that video talking about the SATPACs, telling people how to process and take care of the SATPACs. Technically, there were some technicalities as to why the organization could not tell you how to complete the SATPAC. So let me do this again. Ladies and gentlemen, we keep telling you that you were given a trust when the SATPACs were created. You were given a 98 series number to go with your trust. We gave you a sample declaration. You were supposed to complete the trust.
Well, I didn't know how to complete the trust. You guys didn't give us the instructions.
Because ignorance of the law is no excuse. You don't have an excuse for not knowing. Look, why'd you purchase it in the first place? Would be the question that you would be asked by a judge. So understand it, ladies and gentlemen. The whole premise of the organizations I've created, it's for those individuals who know what they're doing. Not those who think they know what they're doing. Oh yeah, I saw such video yesterday, and when when such meant such and such, then I knew that such and such was telling the truth. Yeah, so I've been following such and such since such and such. Yeah, it's knee high to a caterpillar. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna say it again so that some of you who need to get it will get it, because it really is simple. You have a trust agreement. With every trust, there must be a declaration of trust and a certificate of trust.
I declared
War, declaration of trust and a certificate of trust. Go and download sample copies. Not going to show you where they are. Just type in sample declaration of trust, sample certificate of trust. It'd be better if you download it in Word format and not PDF format. So do, what is Word? DOC or DOCX? Extension. DOC or DOCX. Anyway, so once you create the Declaration of Trust and Certificate of Trust, remember, I'll say it again because some of you guys didn't listen the first time, some of you guys didn't listen the second time. Nobody ever told you guys to file your trust in your court cases. I said a gentleman did that. I never said do that yourselves. I even told you I couldn't guarantee that you would get the same results that that person got. Again, it's not my job to tell you what the rules are and what the law is. You are supposed to know. I apologize because people want to put the weight on me because they do something that they were never instructed to do by me or by Eon or by the organizations, and then they want to just,
oh, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. I don't care. I don't care. No, I stepped out in front of that car because I thought that's what you were asking me to do. So, I wouldn't be paralyzed if you had just come straight out and said it.
that's what I go through. Again, we told people from the very beginning that they were getting more than what they bargained for.
Well, I got that SATPAC, and y'all ain't done nothing. Y'all ain't done nothing.
Then we realized that the very people who are complaining are the ones who themselves haven't done anything. These are securities. We stated from the very beginning these securities would mature in 5 years. The first security went out in 2017, the end of 2017. The 5 year maturity isn't up. Just make sure you understand that. Between the time of its initiation and its maturity, individuals are supposed to be doing their declaration of trust, and they were supposed to be doing their certificate of trust, and they were supposed to be taking the 98 series number, the 87 series numbers, going to the bank and saying, hey, I need to open up a non-interest bearing account. Yeah, the EIN is social security number, and no, I don't need to show you an ID. This is being set up for a trust. Oh yeah, I'm not signing the papers, but there is no law requiring me to, do all of that stupid stuff. But anyway, I just need to set up this organization. Oh, you need to identify me as oh yeah, here's my name and everything, and here's my picture on this card. Yeah, you can use that as identification. I know it says identification on it, but I just wanted to make sure that it's not for me, it's for the trust. Yeah, I'm just an authorized officer. Yeah, I'm just here to open up the trust. Trustee? Yeah, I got authorization from the trustee. You need a letter? Here's the letter from the trustee authorizing. Yeah, it's on the trust letterhead authorizing me to open up this account. Or you can just give them the ID and don't argue with them. And the process will be done and you'll be over with a whole lot quicker. See, the reason why we have to give you guys ways around things because y'all want to just argue with people. This ain't got nothing to do with you submitting to somebody's jurisdiction and doing this and doing that. It's all about commerce. You're going to be submitting to the jurisdiction by engaging in commerce in the first place. So would you stop with the arguing? Literally, just stop. Your trust protects you to begin with. That's why you're doing it in the name of a trust. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who haven't done this yet, I'm going to give you some information. Your trust is a non-profit trust. What I need you to do is just real simple. Go online and type in 508 Trust. And there are some codes in the 508 code, the IRC 508 code. There are some language in there that speaks about your exempt status. If your declaration and your certificate of trust had that section embedded in it, according to the law, your trust would be tax exempt.
Really?
Just go back and listen to what I just said. I'm not going to repeat it again. Like I said, there's a lot of things I cannot tell you. Not because I don't want to tell you, but because I'm not going to tell you. Okay? All I'm here to do is to let you know how the SATPACs were designed. After a person set up their non-interest bearing account, because we've been telling you guys about this for years, then they were to deposit, pay attention, a security into that account. Now you put some money in the account. Don't just let the account just sit there being there. Okay, but you put some money in the account. And once you put money in the account, it can even be $500, $200, $100. Doesn't matter, just let it sit there. And then what I want you to do is I want you to go in business for yourself. Go in business for myself. It's the trust, people. Let the business of your trust be that of accepting promissory notes. Okay? Now, write out the promissory notes where you, pay attention, are borrowing from the trust. Pay attention. Credits. Pay attention. That's what your promissory note is going to do. You're going to borrow from the trust and you're going to do a promise to pay that trust back. Now, you can't just borrow $100 billion. Don't do something stupid like that. You can't just borrow $1 million. Don't do something stupid like that. Apply for a loan and just simply borrow $100,000. Okay, and write out that loan document. You can pull up the loan template, promissory note. Go ahead, loan agreement, promissory note. You can pull up a template. They're all over the internet. And just write it up. $100,000. I know some of you guys are going to be greedy because you're stupid. And that's you heard me say it. Stupid. Because a stupid person is one that doesn't listen. Go ahead and do your research on the term stupid. It's not a derogatory term. It's a descriptive term. A stupid person is not somebody who lacks sense. A stupid person is one who has sense but doesn't use it. That is a stupid person. A person who lacks sense is an ignorant person. Okay? So, some of you are going to be stupid. Some of you are not going to listen. Trying to help you. You write out that promissory note the first month. Then you're going to write out another promissory note the second month. Not for the same loan, but for the same amount. It's going to be a different loan. First loan you're going to do, $100,000 is going to be to take care of your necessities. You know, toothpaste, toothbrush, you know, that type of necessities. I mean, man, some toothbrushes, do you know how expensive those things are? I guarantee you I can go buy myself a toothbrush for $100,000. So for your minor necessities, $100,000. Now you need a car. You don't need a $300,000 car. So stop it. So you're gonna do another $100,000 for a loan for an automobile. Just trust me on this. Okay. Now you're depositing these promissory notes into the bank account. The bank will show you how. I want you to understand this is your trust business. Your trust business is taking care of your necessities. That's why you set it up in the first place. Go back and read the code. It says that you have to be in the business of doing this. Some of you guys are not going to take the time to read. I've been showing it to you all this time. And then you're going to do it for another $100,000. You got the car. You got your necessities. Now you're going to do it for another $100,000 because you need to take care of the maintenance and upkeep of the property. And each month you can do it for another $100,000. Your maintenance can be $100,000 a month. Now, hey, it's a promissory note, so you got to pay back the trust. So you're going to promise to pay back the trust. Now, hold on. Let me show you what you're going to pay them back with. You know all those bills that you guys have been getting from all of these different companies you've been applying for and they've been billing you? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to write up a simple little letter. You're going to tell them, hey, I got the congressional record. You can find this on AmeriLegion.com. And on AmeriLegion, just go to page 80. This is the congressional record for March 9th. Go to page 80. This is the congressional record for March 9th. Go to page 80. This is the congressional record for March 9th. Go to page 80. Ladies and gentlemen, when you go to page 80, I want you to listen to the conversation, and we are going to take the time to read this conversation. I want you to listen to I believe this is McFadden, but I'm not certain. So see McFadden right there, speaking to the speaker. So this is McFadden, and you guys don't know who McFadden is, and that's not my fault. Okay, I think I know what's going on here with this page right here. I think the page is a little offset. That's why the writing is all the way to the bottom. So let's bring it up this much, and let's bring it up this much. Let's see, because I've been moving things around. I just want to see at the bottom. I need to bring it up just a little. Oh, look at that! Can't bring it up a little bit more because it's all the way to the bottom. Started from the bottom, now we made it to the top. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to do this page over again. Anyway, let's find out what McFadden is trying to say. All right, you guys are ready to find out what's going on with the banks? Notice this. It is difficult to understand the circumstances to discuss this bill. The first section of the bill, as I grasp it, is particularly the war powers that were given back in 1917 with some slight amendments to the Federal Reserve Act. Shh. The other gives supreme authority to the Secretary of the Treasury of the United States to impound all the gold of the United States in the hands of individuals, corporations, and companies. Gives supreme authority to the Secretary of the Treasury to impound all the gold of the United States? How does the United States get to take your property? Just hold on now. We ain't finished. We got some education of you people to do. Ladies and gentlemen, it says, and companies for the purpose, I suppose, of bringing together that gold and making it available for issuance, for the issuance of Federal Reserve notes. Now, let's make sure the gold was supposed to back the Federal Reserve notes. Hold on. Let me make sure, because he says this is how he understands. He says, I suppose. The third section deals with how banks are to be handled under this authority, how bank assets are to be frozen, and deals with the question of limited receivership and receiverships. The last section of the bill provides for the issuance of a new money. I'm a little at a loss. In the hurried way we had to read this bill to understand just how this new money is to be handled. I refer to section 401, which reads, upon deposit with the Treasury of the United States of all contract obligations of the United States or any notes, and so forth. Under the Federal Reserve Act, obligations are deposited as the security and gold for the Federal Reserve notes, are placed in the hands of the Federal Reserve agents. Pay attention. Under the Federal Reserve Act, obligations that are deposited as the security and gold for reserve notes are placed in the hands of the Federal Reserve agents. Did you not know that your notes are, pay attention, notes, obligations of the United States, that they're gold? They're the substitute money. Did we not just tell you that promissory notes are substitutes for money? Is this not what Congress is telling you right here? It says that under the Federal Reserve Act, obligations that are deposited as the security and gold for the reserve notes are to be placed in the hands of the Federal Reserve agent. Now it says, I would like to ask the chairman of the committee if this is a plan to change the holding of the security backed by the Federal Reserve note to the Treasury of the United States rather than the Federal Reserve agent. You see, all of their paper money had to be backed by something. Now it's backed by the credit of the nation. All of their paper junk had to be backed by something. Now it's backed by the credit of the nation. Let's continue, shall we? This is Mr. Stegall, the author, one of the authors of the Glass-Steagall Act. This provision is for the issuance of Federal Reserve bank notes, not for Federal Reserve notes. And the security backed of it is the obligations, notes, drafts, bills of exchange, bankers' acceptances, outlined in the section to which the gentleman referred, section 401. So, ladies and gentlemen, the security that backs Federal Reserve notes are the notes, drafts, bills of exchange, bank acceptances that are outlined in section 401. Section 401 is your friend. Take section 401 home and be very nice to it, because this is your salvation financially. Pay attention. Mr. Stegall, the chairman of the committee, this provision is for the issuance of Federal Reserve bank notes. There was no provision for issuance of Federal Reserve notes, not for Federal Reserve notes. And the security backed of it is the obligations, notes, drafts, bills of exchange, bank acceptances, outlined in section 401. Mr. McFadden says that the new circulation is to be Federal Reserve bank notes and not Federal Reserve notes. Is that true? Mr. Stegall says, insofar as the provisions of this section is concerned, yes, section 401 is your friend. Says, I would like to ask the gentleman to the right, in that connection, is there any gold reserves to be held as security backed of these Federal Reserve banknotes? Mr. Stegall says the law provides 5% to be backed in the Federal Reserve banknotes, just as maintained in the case of national banknotes. There have been issues of a small amount of these notes. I cannot recall the exact figure. The gentleman is probably more familiar with it than I am. there is only a little of that currency outstanding. Now, this contemplates a substantial addition to it. It is liberalization of currency issue to take care of banks in their effort to respond to the demands of business and liabilities of depositors. And Mr. McFadden says, now hold on a second. The current press reports indicates there will be issued under this authority some 2 million or more new currency and made available to the banks. Is that correct? And Mr. Stegall says, to be frank with the gentleman, I should not like to be bound by my answer by estimates outlined in the newspaper report. The issue might greatly exceed the amount suggested. Hold on. This ain't got nothing to do with a newspaper report. He said the newspaper report suggested. He's just asking you to give him an answer, you ignorant mother. Mr. McFadden says, will the gentleman say how much is possible to be issued or is contemplated to be issued? Hey, look, you see how Mr. McFadden said the same thing I just said. And Mr. Stegall says, hey, no one knows. It is not an arbitrary expansion. The purpose is to provide an elastic expansion to meet the exigencies. I put a T there, didn't I? Exigencies and development of banking and business conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, now you understand what's going on here. When you back your promissory notes, and you're going to have to back your promissory notes, why? Because your trust is going to issue you a letter of credit. Because it's a bank. You're going to be operating your trust as a bank within a bank. A bank within a bank. Imagine that. Go ahead and look at Presidential Proclamation 2039. You're setting up your banking institution under Presidential Proclamation 2039, and you're operating as a bank under Section 401. Become experts at Section 401. Put it out there for you. This has been the case since 1933, ladies and gentlemen. This hasn't changed. Now, look, Section 401 they did amend it, but y'all need to do the research. The only thing they amended was the circulating notes issued in blank. They didn't amend the whole act. Wait, hold on. You guys don't understand what's going on here? If this act is no longer valid, I want y'all to pay attention to something. Mr. Stegall, can you tell us what's going on now? Notice what Mr. Stegall said. This provision is for the issuance of Federal Reserve banknotes and non-Federal Reserve notes, and the security back of it is for obligations, notes, drafts, bills of exchange. Why is this so important? Well, I want y'all to pay attention. Under the Federal Reserve Act, obligations that are deposited as securities and gold for the reserve notes are placed in the hands of the Federal Reserve agent. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do you understand? These represent gold. Well, how do they represent gold? Oh, because you guys are not paying attention. Do you guys not remember where these individuals said this right here, holding a security of the notes backed by the Treasury of the United States? Because what did the Treasury do? Does anybody know what the Treasury did? Do y'all want us to cover that again? Where the Treasury impounded the gold of the nation? You guys understand that, right? Where the Treasury impounded the gold of the nation? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if this provision, Section 401, has been repealed, what do they need to do? They need to return the gold. Wait, hold on. Y'all don't get it? Pay attention. It says the Treasury of the United States to impound all of the gold of the United States. Why? Because of these provisions. So if this has been repealed, give me back my gold. Well, you weren't living in 1933. Oh, you better give it back to me in proportion. Equal protection of law. We're still under these provisions, so I don't have to be living in 1933. I'm living now, you ignorant mother. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, by issuing a letter of credit from the trust to yourself, which backs the loan of credits given by your trust. Now, how does your trust get credits? Hey, I'm glad you asked. Can I explain it? Well, if you go back and listen to the other video, you will see all of your bills, all of the hour style money orders, all of the promissory notes you've ever written, All you got to do is write the treasury and saying, look, I wrote all these things, and I know you guys have records there, and I know you keep an account. I know you have my name. I know it's this associate social security number is associated with the account. I've never gotten paid, but I've been paying these bills because they're saying that these debts are still outstanding. I need you guys to correct this. Later, the next video, I will show you the requirements for filing a complaint, the right way to do it according to the rules, because we're going to follow the rules. And you will contact all of those organizations and agencies that owe you money. That's what AmeriLegion is doing. And you will tell them, hey, y'all need to give me back my money. Y'all were supposed to be following this rule. They're going to ignore you. Okay? They're not going to ignore AmeriLegion. You know why? Because we're doing it the way the law requires it to be done. So eventually they got to come see about me. And you, and your grandmama, and your grandfather, and your uncles. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who have SATPACs, all you have to do is follow the instructions in the last two videos to get yourself started. I know you don't know how to do this and you don't know how to do that. And it's not our fault that you don't know how to do anything. It's not our job to explain to you how to do everything. We are not here for that. I am not here for that. They are not here for that. So y'all just got to get y'all's acts together, okay? Everybody has got to stand up on their own 2 feet. But I just want y'all to pay attention to what we showed y'all here. The other gives supreme authority to the Secretary of the Treasury of the United States to impound all the gold of the United States in the hands of individuals. That means you, your mama, your uncle, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, and your dog. I suppose of bringing together that gold and making it available for the issuance of Federal Reserve notes. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the problem. We already know that the gold was not used to back up any of the currency. And because the gold was not property of the United States but property of individuals, this was an unconstitutional act. But the people pay attention. I want y'all to pay attention because you're not paying attention. The people voluntarily gave up the gold. Hey, the people voluntarily gave up the gold. Go back and read what McFadden had to say over here, ladies and gentlemen. The people voluntarily gave up the gold. So there was no violation of the Constitution. There was no amendment of the Constitution. This is all contract. This is all contract, people. And once you understand that, you'll get it. But right now, many of you are not getting it because you don't understand it, and that's your fault. Okay? Hey, I got to go because we have a meeting tonight with the organizations, and I got to get prepared. So I'm going to go wind down because my doctor's appointment, I left here at around about 6:30, and I didn't return until, what was it, after 12? I think it was almost 12:30 when I returned. It is a 6-hour trip, ladies and gentlemen, every single time, and it's just, let's just say if we try to cut it close, the most we'll get is 5 hours and 15 minutes. But it takes enough of my day away from me. And right now, it's 98 degrees inside me home. No, don't worry about it. I have an air conditioning unit. I have two air conditioning units on this vehicle, this fifth wheel. So I have two air conditioning units, but I'm not going to turn on the generator to run the air conditioning unit, nor am I going to deplete my solar system because my solar system, because of the equipment necessary to run the air conditioning, I don't have $4,000 to pay for that MTTP. Okay, I have enough solar panels that, man, I'd have to get another battery and an MTTP, or is it MPPT? It doesn't matter whichever it's called. I have to get another one of each of those, which will be about $4,000 to run the air conditioning unit. Okay, and I ain't got it like that, y'all. Plus, it ain't that important. I can take care of some other things with that type of money, like paying the next bill for Dun& Bradstreet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be updating you over the next couple of weeks as to everything that's going on. Mail is now starting to go out, so just want to let you know we're completing paperwork finally. And because of the current understanding of 401, because I just needed the current understanding to complete everything. And as you know, we're staying on track. 30 minutes, everybody. Y'all take care of yourselves, and we gonna get together with this the next time. All right? All right. Y'all, adios. Arriva, Dirty.